Mother Teresa once said, "If we have no peace, it's because we have forgotten that we belong to each other." Let me ask you a question. Have you ever watched the endless wars, crimes, and the latest crisis on the news and thought to yourself, how has humanity survived this long? Collectively, it's hard to imagine how humanity has survived as long as it has, with constant wars, famine, greed, self-sabotage, and many, many other negative human qualities that you could probably name without too much trouble. But there's one aspect of human nature that's causing the majority of the problems that we're facing today. The idea of us versus them. We're facing the convergence of a lot of factors that might not allow humanity to survive the situations that we've created for ourselves. But the majority of them stem from this part of human nature. Human nature is fundamentally complex. It comes with the good and the bad. And ultimately, the hope lies in the fact that we can choose which path we take. Keep this in mind as we discuss what part of human nature are harming us and what parts of human nature we will have to bring forward if we want to survive and thrive as the world changes. My name is Elizabeth Ann Stewart, and you are watching the Heart of the Warrior Show.
I'd make people not hate each other because of their religion, because of their nationality, because of any stupid reason. If we could abolish hatred, we live on this gorgeous planet.
We think too much, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness, gentleness.
On a personal level, most people would probably say that individual people, for the most part, are good, and that they do the best they can. But can you say the same thing for groups of people? Can you say the same for people on the internet? Anyone who spent more than a couple of minutes on Twitter can tell you kindness doesn't reign supreme, and mob mentality can end someone's career in one single differing opinion, even if that opinion is proven to be true months or sometimes weeks later. In 2021, The Insider published a news story that said that 4,000 Amazon employees were so poor that they also received government food stamps because they couldn't afford to buy food while working there. While Jeff Bezos' wealth now hovers around $150 billion. And the shocking thing is that Amazon isn't the only company where this is true. So what part of human nature is causing this? Like I said before, human nature is complex, but there's one aspect of human nature that's causing the majority of the problems that we're facing today. And that is the illusion of us versus them. Us versus them shows up all over the place. This happens every time there's a war. There's a good side and a bad side. And have you noticed that whatever side you are on seems to always think that it's the good side, even for both sides? But even down to your favorite sports teams. Competition seems to be part of human nature. But here's why. We all identify as something called social identities. When someone asks you who you are, and what you most often respond with is a category of person that you belong to. I'm a woman, I'm a consultant, I'm a daughter, I'm American. We identify with where we're from or where we live, our sexual orientation, our skin color, hair color, occupation, our favorite sports teams, our hobbies, our roles in our family, our religions. This may seem useless, but the reality is that we like people who are like us. And there's a good reason for that. We understand people who are like us. Let me tell you a story. One of my friends is firmly Republican, but his entire family is firmly Democrat. Instead of talking things through and accepting that they aren't going to change each other's minds, they fight at every single holiday. Their relationship becomes nothing but fights over their political beliefs. He got married a couple of weeks ago, and his entire family didn't show up to his wedding because of these fights and because of their differing beliefs. Here's the thing. When people aren't like us, we don't understand them. And as the saying goes, we fear what we don't understand. There's another factor here, and that is that the brain's reaction to having our beliefs threatened is the same as having our physical lives threatened. Imagine this. You're in a happy marriage, or what you believe to be a happy marriage. Then your spouse of 30 years comes and tells you she's been unhappy for years and has been cheating on you. Your pulse might race. You might have shortness of breath. You might not be able to think, and panic might set in. If you've ever had a belief that was really shaken, you know what I'm talking about. We don't like having our beliefs challenged. This goes back to our days in small tribes and villages. Humans are not the strongest or the fastest in the animal kingdom. We don't have hard shells or razor-sharp teeth. The strength of humans comes from working together. Even the very intelligent may not survive alone. When resources are scarce and a human wanted to survive, they took what they could from the tribe next to them so they could survive no matter what the cost was to the other tribe. Humans needed defense against warring tribes, the weather, predators, and the biggest predictor of survival and thrival of species in the wild, groups of cells in our body, and humans, is actually cooperation. Cooperation builds cities, it helps survival, and we are actually built to cooperate. So it's not human nature itself that's the problem. It's our definition of who is the us and who is the them. This is what leads me to the hopeful part of this video, the part of this video that we can do something about if we collectively choose to. Cooperation is what drives innovation, survival, and thrival. But what do we do about the fact that differing beliefs can often cause conflict? The understanding that fundamentally we all want the same things, regardless of where you are in the world or who you are. We all want to feel safe and secure. We all want to be loved and to love. We all want food and shelter, consistency and stability. We all want to belong somewhere and to feel good about ourselves. Here's how you overcome this part of human nature. Ask yourself, what is the underlying reason that this person in front of you has this belief? Or it could even be a person on the internet, or it could be somebody that you're watching do something that you don't really understand. Is it that they want to feel safe or secure? Do they want to feel good about themselves? Do they want to survive something? If you're asking yourself what the real underlying reason is for what they're saying or they believe, then you can find common ground with the human being in front of you. There's almost always common ground to be found. Then ask yourself, is there anything I might find useful from their belief? If you do this, you might actually be able to benefit from something they believe. New ideas, new ways of doing things, or even things you might not have thought of can come from listening to how somebody else does something. It's up to you to be the change you want to see in the world. I believe that humanity can overcome the lower parts of human nature, but it starts with each of us choosing a different future than the one we have right now, and choosing it against all odds. If there's another topic you'd like me to cover, please put it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.